Hey guys, I just wanted to share this really cool resource that you may be aware of, but I wanted to share how I use it. It's called Blooket. If you're aware of Blooket, you know how cool it is, you know how much the kids love it. There are different versions of it. There's a paid version and there's a free version. And in all honesty, you get the same out of the free version. The only difference is you can only have 60 players sign in at once with the free version versus more with the paid version. I think it's up to 300. And then also there are exclusive plays, different game themes that come out that the paid version gets first before the free version. But there are plenty of options in the free version. You can still even create your own Blookets. You can search for Blookets that exist and use, Blookets that teachers have made. I tend to make my own Blookets just because it's content. I want to cater it to the content that I teach in my class. One of the things I use this for is class competitions. And this has worked beautifully over the past few years. I didn't know how it would go. I was trying to figure out how to motivate students. So I ended up coming up with my class competition. Now I teach 3 sections of 11th grade, 3 sections of 12th grade. And so what I have them do is compete with each other, the other classes. So for example, my first period and my second period would compete against each other as a class. That way we eliminate some of the issues that you see with competitions, which is bullying and they're competing and just stepping on each other to get to the top. But what this does is creates a classroom environment that allows them to be a team. And they compete against the other classes, and it gives them the incentive to do really well and understand and learn the content while striving to do well as a team. So I'm just going to switch my screen here so you can see what my competition board looks like, because this is something I keep digital. And then I'll show you what Blooket looks like to just kind of get an idea. Okay, so as you can see, I just have created slides here, and they're called my Blooket competition slides. And all it is I've created this bell ringer slide where it says log into Blooket. You can do this by going to blooket.com/play and enter the following code. And I have my Bitmoji game on and which class will win the highest score. And then every day I just put in the game code there. Then my second slide here is where I keep track of every day. So simple. I plug it in at the end of the game. And this is how I keep track of who wins what. And you can see I have the date, the day that they played. I have the scores that each class got, and then who was the winner for that day. So this year I've used a lot of my Blooket time for vocabulary, SAT vocabulary prep. However, in between all of that, I am using Blooket for chapter reviews or different rhetorical techniques or anything that I'm teaching at the time. So by going to my 11th grade set here, you can see I do SAT words. They get 20 at a time. I host a game. When I host a game, I have all these options. Now you'll see one of them says plus only. That's because that's the paid version. That one's not available yet to the free version, but all of these others are. So there's only one that you can't get to if you have the free version. But if I pick a game mode, it gives me the option to host the game, and it tells you a little bit about the game. Host the game, and then it gives me a bunch of options that I can pick from. You can pick how long you want it to be, whether you want the kids to use names, do you want them to have the instructions, can they join late, things of that nature. And then once you hit host now, you get a game code with the music, and then kids can log in. There's also a QR code. So this is how they get into the game. Once they're finished, you get an overall score for the class, how many players, how many they got correct or incorrect. And then you can also get an individual class score. And then if you keep scrolling, you'll see that you can get very individual, like how many they got correct on each question. This is really invaluable for data if you really want to use it that way. So basically what I do with the scores is I take these scores and I have them compete. The class with the highest score at the end of the day is the winner. And I keep track of this digitally with that template that I created in order to add them up for the quarter. And at the end of the quarter, they're allowed to take these points that they've accumulated and they are able to apply them to an assignment that they might want to improve. This doesn't apply to tests or quizzes. They think it's the greatest thing, but it doesn't make a huge impact, but it does help them out a little bit and give them that incentive to try and learn the words and learn the content enough to make a difference. If you would like a copy of the template that I created, the digital template with the slides, I have a version of this that I posted on my website. I'll give you the website and you can get it for free, but it's just something to keep track and it's easy for you. And this also gives you a good 5-7 minutes in the beginning of class to do your attendance, to do the things you need to do while they're learning. So that's something that I've just loved about this whole thing, and it allows me to just have that a little bit of time to transition into the class. Plus, it's beneficial. So you can't beat something that's going to make your life easier on top of benefiting your students. So if you're interested, check out the comments.